It doesn't take long for all seasons to kind of come and go sometimes. And, I say off seasons, this is the time of year that I like better because you know where you're at every day. Because in the off season, you don't know where you're at and where you're going, basically, from, speaking engagements, and particularly the month of September is just recruiting. When recruiting, those things change from minute to minute, basically where you got to go and where you got to be. So this time of year, starting now, I like, because I know where I'm at every day and what time I'm here. And that's the easiest part of coaching. And I like being with their team. I like every day being able to go out and compete, and especially when you like your young men you have on your team. And I've said this many times. You guys have heard me say this. I like our people on this team, and that's where it starts at with me the most. And we'll see how good we can become as players, as a team. But I like the foundation of their character and their work ethic. Again, we got a lot of new moving parts. But if you ask me, this time last year, we had one guy back in Justin. We thought we had a chance to be pretty good from what we saw over in Costa Rica last summer, but it was just new. At least there's 5 or 6, 7 guys back on this team, so there's a little bit of a base, and there's some new young guys as you start plugging them in. We'll see how things go and how they develop and how everything fits together. But I like our starting point with this bunch. First question, who wants it?
Update on Monte. You going to start the season eligible?
Monte will not start the season. He will not be able to play until first semester. End of the first semester, whenever that date is, December, whatever it is, 9th, 10th, 11th, and all, whatever that is. And basically that comes from some, late spring decisions, and, maybe entering the draft and not finishing up some academics. So, again, when you make decisions, sometimes there's accountability and responsibilities that come with both of them, and that's where he is on it. So, but he is, as long as he takes care of business this fall, he'll be fine at the end of this school semester, and hopefully should graduate. I mean, he's down to, it's either 16 or 19 hours graduating right now. And hopefully, he can do the right thing and get his degree.
How does that affect the point guard position with him not eligible in the first semester?
Well, I mean, naturally, if you had your druthers, you'd rather have everybody able, ready to go, healthy and eligible and all that. But when you don't, I can promise you this, Brad, no one feels sorry for you. No one's going to cancel any games, and you got to make adjustments. And this is something we've known about for a while, and again, we'll have to move some guys around, which we've done anyway. You'll see, Josh Anderson getting a chance to play that role. I like the progress he's made in some areas. The young kid Delano is a guy that we think can play it some, and we know Hollingsworth can play it some. So we'll have to do it by committee, but I like the potential of the guys we have, and again, we'll see how it all goes.
How's the health of the team right now?
Well, we're beat up a little bit. We're beat up. We've been without Galen Smith for, basically, I think he was in a boot for 6 or 8 weeks. Had a stress fracture in the bottom in his top of his lower foot, and we'll not have him back full speed until probably right at season time. He's out of his boot, and he's made progress as far as what he's able to do on the court. He's starting to do some running stuff. We will not have him start practice full speed, so it's going to be gradually with him. And Charles the same way. Charles tweaked his knee about 3 weeks ago, and he's kind of been a no-go for 3 weeks. Gradually getting back, doing a lot more stuff, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can get him back full speed. About Jeremiah. Jeremiah had a stress fracture in his foot, and he's out 3 to 4 months. Then our other young kid, Murphy, he's got surgery today, stress fracture in the bottom of his foot, so he's out 3 to 4 months. Besides that, we're in good shape.
What went into the decision for Travis Queen?
Well, it wasn't no decision. I didn't make the decision. He made the decision. When you don't do right, you get held accountable for decisions you make. So when I tell people, it wasn't our decision, it was his decision. And when you don't make right decisions, like I say, there's accountability with it.
So he was dismissed then, is that correct?
I didn't say that. I said his actions. He made the decision with his actions, not to be a part of the team.
You mentioned being banged up. How's Jake doing? I know didn't he have a couple surgeries?
Yeah, Jake had a broken nose and was out for about 6 weeks. But he's back. Got to wear that mask, but at least he's back. Yes.
Rick, about Lamonte, I think any of us that have crossed paths with him for the last 2 seasons, a likable young man, I enjoy visiting with him. But you and your coaching staff, is it a common theme that he's made no secret of his desire to play professionally? Are you and the staff constantly telling him, Lamonte, what you do on the court is great, but what you do academically and off the court, carrying responsibility there, will ensure you playing professionally and perhaps even longer professionally than you want? Yeah,
hey, Mike, we talk to all of our kids every day about there's a correlation. You take shortcuts off the court, you'll take them on the court. And it's about being consistent every day with everything you do, from being on time to eating breakfast. If you're supposed to get 4 hours of study table, don't get 3 hours and 50 minutes, you get 4 hours. Again, you can't turn it on and turn it off and be as good as you can be. And again, I'm convinced of that through the years, and we preach that every day, consistency in your personal life. And when you don't do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, there's accountability. There's accountability in life. There's accountability between those lines. And it'll catch up with you if you don't do the right things over and over. And again, kids have to make hundreds of decisions a day. You make enough right ones, it's what you become. You make enough bad ones, what you become. And again, there's accountability with decisions you make sometimes. But, just not him. We preach it to everybody every day, doing the right things outside the court.
How many players do you hope to sign?
Here's the good thing going into this season, Chad, probably for the first time. Feel like now we have a little continuity in our program. And that's what you got to have in recruiting. To get your program where you want to get it, you can't be going out scrambling trying to sign 8 or 9 guys every year. And I think we've been through 2 recruiting cycles. We've had to sign 8 or 9. Even this past year, how many was there?
9 newcomers.
Okay, whatever it is again. So, on paper, we have 2 seniors. Is that correct? 2 seniors. Naturally, through fallout, you have a traveling scholarship already, so that's 3. There'll be another one somewhere. So, but just going into it, you don't have to sign but 3 to 4 guys, and that's a lot easier going into. We've signed 3 or 4 in the springtime, so we've been recruiting some guys, and again, we're trying to get some guys, the ones that we know are supposed to have. That's ones we want. And but to answer your question, where we sign any in November, I don't know. Do we sign 2 or 3 in November? But for the year, we've got 3 to 4 that we can sign, and that's good compared to the way it's been.
Did last year's success help recruiting efforts at all, or not?
Well, I think anytime you have success, I can preach what we're going to do. When you start seeing some results of what you're going to do, I think it's easier. I mean, it doesn't change guys we're going to go after and target. We want the same ones everybody else wants. We don't want the ones who're supposed to be here. I mean, those guys get you beat. We want the ones who are not supposed to be here. In y'all's eyes. In our eyes, they are. So, like I said, until they change the structure of the NCAA tournament, there's one NCAA tournament, and we all play for the same thing. They don't have different levels of it. If they have different levels of it, and you recruit differently. But until they change that, we all got to have the same kind of players. And, I don't need anybody calling me saying, Coach, I think I got a guy who can play for you. I said, well, would I take him at this school or this school? Well, Coach, I'm not for sure. Well, I don't want him. We need the same kind of guys. We're going to play those people. That's the kind of schedule we're going to play. So we need those kind of players too.
Coach, has anybody stepped up on the team to fill that leadership position Justin left behind?
Well, what's your name?
Zach McGovern with the extra point.
Who are you with?
Extra point.
What is extra point? That sounds like a football
I think you called it
station.
The free throw last year or 2 years ago.
Extra point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's not called free throw. Why don't you call it free throw?
Don't think about it.
Because you say extra point, that reminds me kicking something. So in here, we'll call it free throw.
Free throw, okay.
Who you with?
The free throw.
Okay, perfect. What was your question again?
Has any of the players stepped up from that leadership position?
Well, I think this. I've always said when you can get your best players being your hardest workers and your best leaders, then you got something. I think probably every coach tries to get that within his team and his program. It doesn't always happen that way. Some guys lead differently. Some guys lead by example and don't say a word. Some guys don't lead by example but want to talk. If you can get those guys who can talk and lead, your hardest workers, then you have something. And I think we have that. I think we have a couple young men that's been in the program. I think it's adjustment. It's kind of a little adjustment for both of them because I don't think talking comes natural to either one of them. But I think because of the roles they understand they're in now, I think they want to do it. They've showed some ability this summer, willing to do it and ability to do it. And I think they'll keep growing in those roles. But that's, Tavion, who last year was a freshman, which is hard for any freshman to come in and lead verbally, especially when you have three seniors. He led by example. And again, if you get a choice of somebody leading by example or talking, you want a guy who can lead by example. If you get both, then you got something special. Well, that's who I think he can be, because it's very obvious he leads by example every day, everything he does on and off the court. And verbally, he'll be much more capable and able to step up and roll his in. The other guy is Savage, Jarrett. Jarrett was a guy last year, set out, so that wasn't his role. But we saw him in practice every day. And how he practice, a guy who's not playing, but you watch how he practices every day, the energy and toughness he does it with. Then you translate that to off the court, what I've seen now for a year and a half with him. Those are the kind of people that you want being your leaders. The best combination of a leader, if they're good people, they do all the right things, and they can talk, then you got something special. Those two guys, I think, have the ability with all three of those things. A fifth-year guy, because, we've lost some experience. We're not near as experienced back there as we were. With three seniors. Basically, we have one senior now that's going to play the first, 8 or 10 games, whatever it is. But Deshaun married a young man from Auburn. We wanted him to step up in that leadership role. And like I said, you don't have time as a fifth-year guy to come in here and feel things out and get comfortable with everybody. I said, number one, people respect you who you are already by the way you play and your toughness and your work ethic. Number two, you just need to go on. You got to step up, and speak now. And I think it comes natural for him. I think it's easy for him. So hopefully you look out there and say, hey, maybe three of your better players are your hardest workers and your leaders every day. And when you have that, that makes it a lot easier on the coach. I promise you that. So I like that part of our team. I like it a lot. Yes. Yes, sir, Mike.
You mentioned Deshaun. We talked to him a couple of weeks ago. I just like the way he carries himself. And once again, you seem like you've got high character in the graduate transfer. I'm referring to Darius and Dwight the year before, and Junior and Q and Pancake the year before. How good of a player is he, Rick?
Well, I think as much you liked him in his interview and all that, you're going to like him more as a player. And I know as a coach, he exemplifies something as a coach that you love, ability to go rebound that basketball. And, what category does that fall in? Toughness. And that's one area we needed to add to our team was toughness. He's a guy that's got that. You don't average 10 and whatever it was, 7 on a pretty good team that won the SEC about being pretty good. And he was probably 4th option offensively. Most of his baskets he had to go get on his own. It wasn't like they isolated and run a lot of stuff for him and got him a lot of shot attempts. And led their team in rebounding. Just a little bit I've seen him, been around him. Every shot's taken, he thinks it's his. And that's a great ability. We worked hard on him this summer, expanding his perimeter game. He's not about 6'3". Again, you think about 6'3" guy playing the power forward spot. Again, sometimes it ain't about that height. It's about what's laying right between you in your chest, that toughness and effort that you play with, and he's got that. So he's been very good so far in every area. As a person, I think he's a high character kid too, and he seems to really fit in well. And again, I'll keep saying this. I'm gonna come back to this again. I think we have good people on our team. When you're mixing a bunch of ingredients together, y'all have heard me say this before. It's always easier when you're mixing good ingredients. And I think we have good ingredients, even though some of them are new. I think they're all good people, and that's where it starts at. And I think some of them are pretty good players too.
Rick, speaking of
You had a question. All right, you had a question.
Well,
Dean.
Mike kind of took it, but I'll just go ahead and ask that, what kind of improvement have you seen from players like Tavion and Josh going from year 1 into their second year?
Remember this, there's no substitute for experience. There's no magic pill I can give them or no magic dust you can give them. Experience is a very valuable thing. And talking about Tavion, there's probably not many freshmen in the country that gained more experience he gained in the role he was in last year. And again, I see his role as this. I see his role of doing this so far. Last year, again, you're a freshman, you're trying to feel yourself around a little bit. But I think you'll see the mental part of his game go to another step now. What I mean by that is confidence. And again, confidence that's a special thing, guys. It's a little thing, but it's a special thing, especially in athletes. It's not how guys, you got to make guys they got to feel good about who they are and their roles and how they're playing to be as good as they can be. And I think he feels terrific about where he's at. I know I feel terrific about where he's at. I've seen the improvement in him. Again, there's a lot of things I still continue to harp on every day with him. We have to get him stronger. He is stronger. We got to continue to put weight on him. But I think just the offensive part of his game, with the confidence he's gained now from the experiences he's had, you'll see his game go to a whole nother level. I've seen it in the little scrimmages we've had. Talk about Josh. Josh has probably been our biggest project's not the right word, but a young man that had to make as much adjustment as anybody from where he was when he got in here, not being able to play basically at the end of January last year, not being able to really practice the way you wanted to practice. But to his credit, I think he's come a long way this summer. I think he's made tremendous strides. And I think that if he could continue to be that guy that we think he can become, he's got a chance to be really special. Again, we've got to get him understanding all the little things you have to do every day over and over and over. You can't do it one day, one drill. You got to be consistent. And the word with him is just being precise. So when you ever interview him, you can always use that word precise with him. And that's what he has to become. When that becomes a consistent thing in his personal life every day, you're going to see him become a really, really special guy, player with that athleticism. He's worked hard on that boomerang he used to have. It looks like a shot now. And like I told him, that's not going to be your major role still, but it's something you've got better at. And keep elevating your game. It's got to be something that people got to respect who you are out there. And he's worked tremendously hard. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at some improvement he's made in a lot of areas, even though he's got to continue to do it every day, every drill. When he does that again, I'll repeat myself, I think he's got a chance to be really special.
Rick, you talked about Jared Savage's leadership when Zach asked you, obviously referred to Deshaun and Tavion. You coached him in practice now for a full season, and now you're starting. And what does it feel like now getting to coach him, knowing in the very near future you're going to get to coach him in the game?
Listen, those guys who you feel like stand for who you are and what you're about, you love those kind of guys. If they can play a little bit, you really love them. That's who he is. He stands who I'm about. As a person, he's going to do all the right things every day on and off the court. As a student, takes care of business. He puts the extra time in between those lines. I guess the easiest way for me to say this is, as coaches, we always say, you are who you are, decisions you make when nobody's looking. Well, I feel good about when nobody's looking at him, decision he's making. And that's a good feeling. You can't always have that. And that's for all you too. Decisions you make when nobody's looking is who you really are. So think about that now. I may make you turn that camera off, won't it? So when you get that in your players, then you feel good about that. And he's one of those guys. So he's shown great leadership. He works. There was three guys consistently, and the fourth guy showed me something. But there was three guys consistently through conditioning, didn't miss a time: Tavion, Jarrett, and Jeremiah. The fourth one kind of got a lot better towards the end was Josh, which showed some things, showed some ability to push that wall a little bit. So again, I don't know how good our team is going to be. I like our team. I'm going to keep coming back and saying this. I like our people. I like our people. And I think most of you, you've dealt with yet. Once you deal with them and interview them, be around them a little bit, you're going to get the same feeling that I've had. We have good people on this team. Does that mean we play good every night? No. Does that mean we're not going to throw that ball up in the stands? No. Does that mean we're going to miss some easy shots? No. But it has nothing to do with who they are. And again, I'll take that start and that base and that foundation, putting the team together every day.
Rick, what are your thoughts on the new conference schedule format that they're trying to?
Well, I had this question asked last week up in Louisville, I guess, at the quarterback club. I really haven't answered that yet. You ask me at the end of the season how it works out, I'll probably give you a better feel for it. I understand what they're trying to do, trying to improve the RPI of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league. Is that enough to help that second team get in? Here's all I know is that second team, you better play a kind of schedule that you got to play. You better win some games to ever have that chance. If not, you better make sure you go win that tournament. And we put together a schedule, as you guys well know. We had a choice to open up a home game against somebody and sit down right here and win by 25 or 30 that first night. And you guys, everybody leaves out here smiling, happy. But does that make us the best we can be? No. So what I did it for a reason. I chose to go to University of Washington, a team that basically has everybody back. They win 23 or 24 last year. They're going to be picked first or second in the Pac-12. And going to be really good. But I chose to go out there and put our team in that box right off the bat to make us better. Whatever happens, the outcome of the game will make our team better moving forward. Again, I want those challenges. I'm not worried about putting a schedule together in non-conference where you go 11-1 or 11-2. That's easy to do. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about putting a schedule together that makes our team better, challenges us all. That's going to make us better come February and March, and we have that. Again, after Washington, you go play a much improved Valpo team. If you're fortunate to win that one, you have a West Virginia who's top 10 in the country, probably the best big guy in the country. Win or lose that one, you're going to get a Central Florida, St. Joe, Wake Forest. Central Florida's picked to win American. Wake Forest, ACC, and St. Joe's good. So home games against Wisconsin with everybody back. Those two guys sit out last year back. Home game against St. Mary's, you know who they are. Go on the road at Arkansas. And anytime you go on the road in Missouri Valley, you don't see many Power 5 schools going on the road in Missouri Valley, do you? Name one. Is there one team this year going on the road in Missouri Valley? That's a challenge for you all. I'll say no already. Well, we're going twice to Missouri Valley, right? Yeah. Indiana State's Missouri Valley. We're going twice into that league. That ain't easy. Check that stat out. Is there any Power 5 school playing any road game in the Missouri Valley? You think so?
I'll look tonight. I'll spend my Friday night.
Is that before you change diapers or after?
A little bit above, in between.
I mean, I said, have you changed diapers yet?
All the time.
Well, then ask your wife that question. Mike, you get that on camera so his wife can tell the truth. Has Chad changed diapers yet? Need to know that answer to that.
I'll send you a picture later.
What was we talking about? Scheduling. So we got a terrific schedule. You guys like that schedule. You guys, we got some games coming up in here that, we want everybody walking through those doors, no matter who we play, believing we got a chance, no matter who it is. But we also want to come through that door knowing, hey, boy, this is a heck of a team. We got to play to beat this team. We want that. Our league will be good. Marshall brings back 4 of the top 5 scorers now. So we know they should be the team picked to win this thing. I don't know why they wouldn't be. 4 starters back. Old Dominion will be good. There's some other teams. North Texas will be improved. San Antonio's improved. I don't think Middle and UAB will always be good. Probably not the level they were. But no question, Marshall's and UAB is going to be really good. And we got to start off the league at both of those places, if I remember correctly, what it is. So I think we've got a great schedule. Knock on wood, got to stay healthy. It's a fine line, winning and losing. I'm excited about Diddle Arena. We've got 6 weeks left. 6 weeks left, and there's very few tickets out there left. And the next 6 weeks, we have another press conference for season. There won't be any tickets left, and that's a good thing. And like I've said, and I said this 2 years ago, and I believe now that, the people, and I'm thankful for this, have got behind the team. They believe in the team. They're seeing some, potential, what this team can be. And as I said 2 years ago, if you don't have a ticket, you need to get one. It's going to come a time real soon. There's not going to be one available. Well, that time's now. We have new video boards. I didn't realize how much advertisement was on those other ones till you take them off. Really half your board was advertisement. Now there's no advertisements on those video boards, which are going to be special. New sound system, so we can turn that music up in there, Brad. Play that music a little bit louder for you. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. Again, it takes us all, every one of us. We need everybody up in this thing every night. Again, making sure in that first game, whenever it is, whatever that first exhibition game is, whoever it is, that there's not a ticket out there for sale. There's people knocking on those doors trying to get in. That's what this team wants. I think it's what helps us all. It makes it more exciting for everybody. It's involved when you have that kind of atmosphere. And there's no question it helps our team. And we need all the help we can get.
I don't think we've talked to you since you had Hennessy to the staff. What went into that decision?
First off, it was an easy decision for me. You know, I've known Hennessy for a long time, back Jackson State days in Mississippi. Other people didn't know, like I've known him, what a great person he is. You know, he played college basketball at University of Wisconsin.